We're coming in. You know what that means? Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We are so happy to be here. And we just want to tell you that this is Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio Global. If you have your TuneIn app, you want to go there and you can listen to us live on your app, or you can go on your computer to armeddigitalmedia.com. Armed Radio Global. We have Annette Zito. Annette, you got the first spot tonight. You came in at first spot. So Annette Zito has joined us. Darcy Blakesley has joined us. Rena Crignelli-Bergi, that's my cousin. Manny Soto. Hi, Manny. Adam Feldman has joined us. Hi, Adam. Paul Unison. Hi, Paul Unson. How are you? He's joined us. So many great people. Mary Grace has joined us. Leo Rodriguez.
Leo!
I got to tell you, Leo, when Steven came to the apartment, he goes, I said, well, Leo's good about posting stuff. And he did the Leo Rodriguez in the hallway. Jason Peck has joined us. Dude Cook has joined us. Okay, so, oh my God, Leo said, I hear laughter in the rain. That is a great segue. Chris Piero has joined us. Ed Kutu has joined us from Blade Salon in Old Westfield, Connecticut. So we are very excited tonight. So Steven and I were talking. Johnny Tamaro has joined us. We were talking when we wanted to get, because Steven's called into the show before. And I said, Steven, when you have time, we'll have to get you on the show. But he's out in Fire Island a lot cooking, and that's what he does. He's a chef, and he's a chef to the stars. So we were talking about all these different things that we had going on, and we realized that we had, well, we have a lot in common, actually.
Yes.
But we had a mutual friend in common. So Neil Sedaka is our mutual friend that we have in common. Steven has cooked for him many times, and I opened for him at a party and then was invited back a couple of times. He's the sweetest guy. So he's going to call in at 9:15. So yes, the Neil Sedaka, even Jimmy, our producer and engineer, was like, wow, the Neil Sedaka, when I spelled it, yeah, he's a really cool guy. So Steven, first of all, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
Steven is the sweetest guy. And we know each other from downtown and all the different clubs, and we have a lot of friends in common, a lot.
I think I met you back in like 96, 97. You were at the duplex then?
I started in 98, but I was in Tony and Tina's wedding before that, so I was in that neighborhood.
Got it.
We used to go through there and around Stonewall and, you know, and the Monster and all that. We used to walk right through there. So I mean, and we have so many mutual friends like Susie, you know, Susie, and all those people that go out there that perform out in Fire Island.
Of course.
You know?
And Darius. Right?
Darius, of course. Well, Darius is, I mean, is an icon in the village.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see who else is checking in. You know, I like to check in with my peeps. George Hernandez. George Hernandez is my friend. He's a doctor of psychology. However, he's an amazing artist. George, and we got to get George on the show. As soon as you're coming back to New York, because I was looking at his website today, he just, I didn't even know you did that. You see, we're talking, this show, the mission of the show is to celebrate my friends who are creative people and how we stay in the business and how we keep reinventing ourselves. And George is a prime example of that. And John Pandas just joined us. You're welcome, George. You're welcome. So, Steven, that's one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on, because you know, you said to me, my busy season is now, which was the summer.
Right.
But as soon as I close up in Fire Island and I go home, which is Jersey, then I'll have more time.
Right.
And now you've gotten busy again, right?
I know. Right when you asked.
Right?
Yeah.
So we did plan this. We were going to do it a few weeks ago, and then we ended up switching things around. But so your work is seasonal work. Is that correct?
Yes, my busy time is May 1st through October 31st.
And you go out there and live out there the whole summer?
I live there. I cook there. I work there. I even rent rooms at a house, you know, at my house.
So you have a house there?
I have a house there. I rent a home, and I have 4 bedrooms.
Okay.
And in addition to my catering, I rent the rooms as well. So I'm kind of like, you know, doing it all: catering, big events and parties, taking care of my guests. I love it.
And that's you do that all by yourself?
I do that. I do have help. I have a friend who handles my Airbnb for me.
Okay.
And I have someone who helps me clean the house, but I pretty much do all the paperwork, all the ordering, cooking, and planning.
You create all the menus?
Yeah, I make it happen.
Wow.
So, but I have a lot of good people right with me.
And do you have, would you have repeat people that come every year?
Oh yeah. My Airbnb clientele is becoming regular. My friends who rent from me as well are becoming regular. So
Yeah.
I'm building. It's only been 2 years for my room rentals and 4 years for the catering.
That's it?
So yeah, but
It
I've
seems
been on
like-
Fire
I was
Island
gonna
for.
say but you've been cooking out there
I've
forever.
been working for other people and working at other restaurants.
So how long would you say you've been working out there?
This will be my 19th summer.
Okay.
Mhm.
So people know you because when I mention you or when people see pictures of us that we've posted
Mhm.
on Facebook, everybody knows you.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Fire
know?
Island is a small world.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that our community in general is a small world.
Yes, it
you know,
is.
and with creative people and and the village, the village, Fire Island, everywhere that we tend to gravitate towards,
Mhm.
it's really a small world.
Even
Everybody
when I
knows each other.
travel to airports or Fort Lauderdale, I'm like, I could be sitting in Fort Lauderdale at a restaurant, and people from New York and Fire Island are there.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and
yeah.
you hear Steven, chef, whatever. It's great. It's a great.
So I want to talk about that. Let's take a minute to also, because I do want to talk about the other places that you work, because I know you're everywhere. So let me just keep checking on our people. If you're listening on the radio, the reason I call out people's names is because we're Facebook Living as well, and people check in, and I want to acknowledge them. Myra Martino, hi, sweetheart, long time no see. She's a great singer. Debbie Kane Raymer has joined us. Hi, Debbie. Richard Saltz has joined us. All right, but so speaking of traveling, I know you also travel quite a bit, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
well,
so because on your website it says Fire Island,
mhm,
Miami,
mhm,
Palm Springs,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
So how did that come to be? Where you were in? Did you start in one place and then just a following?
Started at Fire Island
Okay.
because everybody, when they leave the island for the winter, goes to Miami, Key West, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Springs.
So what do they call those sunbirds?
Snowbirds.
Snowbirds, right?
Snowbirds.
Snowbirds.
And then they call me. I have a lot of clientele who have homes on Fire Island, and they call me to cook. They'll fly me out.
Wow.
A lot of times I'm there. I'm there at the end of February in Miami for the Sobe Food and Wine Festival.
Wow.
So yeah, but people call me. It's all Fire Island has opened a lot of doors for me.
Yeah. Well, I think doors can open, but you have to be able to keep them open.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the trick in this business. No matter what you do, doors will open and doors will close, but you have to be able to do something with that.
Right.
Malachi Robinson has joined us. Hi, Malachi. How are you? So we're putting on our glasses and take it because we, we can't see everything, and it's farther away than you think. So that one of the things that I love, because we've talked on the phone quite a bit. One of the things that I love talking with you is that we've talked about opportunity and creating opportunity.
Correct.
That sometimes opportunity knocks, and sometimes you have to knock on some doors.
Exactly.
Jay Rivera has joined us. Hi, Jay Rivera. So the thing is, a lot of people that are out there or listening on the radio, they go to a job every day. They get up, whether it's in the afternoon or whatever, where they work nights or days, they go to a job every day and they do whatever it is that they do. They're in the medical profession, they're in marketing, whatever they do. We as artists and creative people sometimes have one place that we go, and that's if you get like a steady gig. But lots of times we have several different things that we do in a week.
Yes, yeah, and that's the nice thing I like about it is.
See, you like it.
I
like
do.
it too.
I do, yeah. I get bored sitting in one place. I have tried the Monday through Friday 9 to 5, quote unquote, whatever. It doesn't work for me. And
okay, what part of it doesn't work? Because I agree. I'm the same way.
Talk about being creative. I was confused. I used to work for Marriott, the corporation. So they were trying to train me in management and going through all their classes and their courses, but I was fighting with something. It wasn't allowing me to be me.
Right.
So I had these great jobs in the corporate world, but I was following somebody else's rules, and creative people can't do that.
It's hard for us, isn't it? I know.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation so many times, and people don't always get it, or they look at me like I'm crazy. Like I've been offered certain things that are that would have benefits, or would have a steady income, and would have a certain routine to it. Mandar has joined us. Mandar, chick magnet. You know, you've watched the show. Mandar, you have been MIA for a while, but he's very busy. 9 to 5, can't do it either. Jay Rivera was on our show a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the same thing. Jay was actually in, he was a stockbroker. He was in finance.
Right.
And
right.
he's an incredible singer. And, you know, there's a certain type that can do that and finds comfort in that. Like a lot of people I know say to me, I would lose my mind if I had your life. If I had to, but you have the same kind of life.
Yeah, I love it. I get up every day and I can change things. I can say yes or no. I can make an appointment one day and wake up that day and say, we'll do it later. Fire Island is funny.
Tell me how that works. Yeah.
Well, Fire Island, we'll say, let's have a meeting. You know, we're doing an event and somebody won't show up. Somebody will be drunk, or we'll have it over a, you know, at a bar. It'll be too loud. You know, meetings are just like not corporate where somebody's documenting things. I mean, of course, when we do a big beach event, we have to document times and schedules and lighting and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
for the most part, you know, being a creative person on Fire Island, we know it's going to change 1,000 times or more before the show even starts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The variables in this business. I mean, anything can happen. Oh,
Yeah. Uh-oh.
we have a phone call coming in. Let's see who this is. Hold on a second. Might this be Neil?
Maria, it's Neil.
Oh my God. Neil, I am so happy to hear your voice.
It's been so long. How have you been?
I have been wonderful, honey. I've been busy, as I'm sure you've been. And I've been doing this incredible radio show. This is my 78th episode.
My God.
I know. And I was I think about you all the time, by the way, though. And
I'll never
I was...
forget the duplex singing at your piano.
I know. Let me tell you, well, first of all, Neil, I got to tell people, there's so much we could talk about. I'm dying to talk to you, but one of the things that I love about Neil, everybody, I originally met Neil because I was I was opening at a party that Neil was the guest. He was the big draw. And so Michael Isaacs and I were opening for Neil, and Neil came and played and wowed the crowd. And I have to say, Neil, and I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but there is something about you. There's like a light around you. When you start to sing and perform, it's almost like a light goes on in the room.
Well, you know, I love what I do. I have a great gift, and I love to share it with people. It's funny, Daryl Dragon just passed away, unfortunately. You know, I wrote Love Will Keep Us Together.
Yep.
And Tony Tennille said to me, when you sing, it's the happiest light we ever saw. But thank you for that, dear.
No, but it's the truth, Neil. You know, I was a lot of people have said, wait, because I, was telling people, oh, Neil's going to call into the show. And, we have a really big following, which is great. And people,
congratulations.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. And, I'll fill you in. I'll email you and fill you in on how it goes into podcast as well. It's really cool on Spotify. But one of the things that I was explaining to people, and when I was thinking about you, which I often do, is exactly that, is your joy of music, creating it, performing it, is like nothing I've ever felt.
Well, that's a great compliment, honey. I've been doing it 63 years, writing songs 65 years.
Unbelievable.
Over 700 songs. A lot of them on the charts, and it was, in those days, it was exciting because you were on the charts, and you heard it on the radio, and the checks came in. It's not as exciting anymore, but I love to perform. I do about 10 concerts a year. I'll be in Las Vegas February 1st and 2nd.
Wow.
And I'm doing Arizona February 15th. I'm at the Saban Theater April 6th in Los Angeles. It goes on and on. I'll be 80 years old.
Wow.
I can't believe it. When is your birthday, Neil?
March 13th.
So you're a Pisces?
I'm a Pisces. And you?
I'm a Gemini, May 21st. You are not a typical Pisces. You know that, right?
Why? What is it typical?
A typical Pisces tends to be a little bit on the boring side. You are the opposite of boring. It's true.
Well, I have a big mouth. I'm a little. I'm a chutzpah.
You
know,
do
I'm a
have
Jewish
chutzpah. I love that. Listen, I was reading because I wanted to read up on some stuff about you as well, because of course I know you as a friend and what I know, but I said, let me just read up some stuff up. And I didn't realize that you were from Brighton Beach, right?
I'm from Brighton Beach, Brooklyn.
Unbelievable. I knew you were a Brooklyn boy, but Brighton Beach, that must have been an incredible childhood.
It was a marvelous childhood. I was a child prodigy at the piano. I went to the Juilliard school, the prep school as a kid, and then the college. And
Unbelievable.
very exciting. I am getting my first PhD in music in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
You're kidding me.
In April, a great pianist, Jeffrey Beagle, is playing my piano concerto, and they have a whole evening of tribute to me, people singing my songs. And actually, I never graduated college. Classical music is my first love.
I know that.
And I said, there's no money in it. I love it. It's good for the soul. But, I went back to my roots, full circle, and I wrote my first piano concerto called Manhattan Intermezzo.
Oh, my
And
God.
it's being performed all over the world by great pianists.
I can't believe this is amazing. I didn't know this. Now, Neil, I will say I was listening to one of your albums last night, and it was the one where you play the Chopin piece, and I forgot that you were classically trained. I forgot until I heard that, and I said, oh my God, that's right, he told me. Now, I must say, I was watching you play one night when we were all you had invited us to a party of yours, which I was so flattered. Michael Isaacs and I were there, and I remember you got on the piano, and it was the first time that I was able to watch your hands, because I was on the side, and the way that your hands moved across the piano, I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I practiced 6 hours a day. I wanted to be a concert pianist. And, that was a great foundation for the writing, because I can write more than 4 chords.
Right. Well, yeah, and I also wanted to say that now this is another thing, because you obviously had discipline practicing. But was there ever a time where maybe someone, whether it was a parent or something, was disappointed that you chose not to go into that field, or were they just as happy as you to make some money?
Well, my mother and father were very shocked. They expected me to be a concert pianist.
Right.
But after the royalties came in, I bought my mother the fabulous mink stone.
I love it.
And she said, I think you should continue writing these songs.
Isn't that wonderful?
I hear somebody laughing in the background.
Yeah, do you know who that is? Stephen Daniello, your other friend, your chef.
Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Good. I'm in Los Angeles now. Lieber and I are married 56 years. We have 3 grandchildren.
Oh, my God.
Oh, congratulations.
How old are
Thank
your
you.
grandchildren, honey?
I have twin girls, 16, and at the end of the month, they are celebrating Happy Birthday, Sweet 16. So I got to sing. And then my grandson is 13, and my son and his grandson are having a double bar mitzvah, because my son was never bar mitzvahed.
I can't believe it.
Okay.
At 13, he said, I want to go to Disneyland instead of a bar mitzvah.
And he got his way, obviously.
He did, but now after all these years, my son is saying, well, I got a double bar mitzvah.
I love that.
Yeah, so I have to sing in Hebrew.
It's okay. I'm sure you're beautifully trained in that as well. Am I right?
I did about 5 languages. It was crazy.
Did you speak Italian, Neil?
Sono molto contento di cantare
Oh,
le
ma
canzoni per voi.
questo non sapeva. Ma io parlo italiano, mio amore. Devo parlare con te quando ci vediamo.
Well, I'm talking to Italian.
Oh, I love it. It's so sexy when you speak Italian, Neil.
I could say, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like my songs in every language, because I played all over the world.
Oh, I love that. So you've been played in Italy, obviously.
Oh, yeah. 63 and 64, I sold a lot of millions of records in the Italian language, but nobody heard it in America.
You're the Pope. You're the Pope of music.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, Neil, I wanted to tell you that my favorite Neil Sedaka song of all time is
Yeah.
The Hungry Years.
I have a lot of records on the Hungry Years. The most recorded is Solitaire. Hungry Years is like the second most covered.
I love it.
Oh, thank you, darling. I just did a duet with Engelbert Humperdinck, and I did a duet with Steve Lawrence. You know, that song is very special. You know, I lost my cousin Edie Gourmet. My cousin is Edie Gourmet.
I didn't know
Oh,
that she was your
wow. I
cousin.
didn't know that either.
Yeah, one of the great Spanish Jews, Turkish, and she was one of the great singers of all
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that she was your cousin. That's amazing.
it is amazing.
It
Yeah.
really was a family back then and a community of singers and songwriters and artists. You all came up together and helped each other out.
The Brill Building, I brought Carole King up to the Brill Building when she was 17 years old.
Unbelievable.
And,
Oh, Carol was
you
written
know.
for her, right?
huh?
Oh, Carol was written for her, right?
That is correct. And she wrote a song in those days that were follow-up, that were answer records. And she wrote a song called O'Neill, which is a very hard to find record, but it's so funny.
I've never heard it. I'll have to see if I can find it.
It's so funny. But ask Alexa, she'll play it.
Wow.
Anyway,
Well, Neil,
Anyway.
I can't thank you enough, sweetheart, for taking the time to call us.
I hope to see you soon.
I
and
would
continue-
love to see you. My heart would love to see you. Hearing your voice just makes me so happy. You're
Aw.
wonderful. Listen, I know that you're a world famous songwriter, but when I think of you, I just think of a beautiful person. You are a beautiful light, Neil, and just God bless you and thank you for calling in.
Thank you, darling, and continued success to you. It's good to hear you, and I wish you the best in the new year. Continue.
Okay.
Okay, sweetheart. Well, say hello to everybody, and hopefully we'll see each other in the new year. Okay.
Okay, darling.
Neil, will I be cooking for you this summer?
Well, why not? Where are you this summer?
You know where I am. I'm in the same place every summer. Fire Island.
I'll be there.
All right, because I missed you last summer.
I know, but I will be at the Grove. I mean, at the
At the
wait a minute,
Dune
not
Point. Dune Point.
not the Pines, but Dune Point. They're renovating, so I might be. I'm not telling where. Somewhere else.
Okay, all right.
Neil, let me ask you, what was your favorite thing that Steve and Daniela cooked for you?
Oh my God! Yes, you made some dinner for us.
Yes, yes. Well, I cooked for you when you were at top, when I was at Top of the Bay, and then you came to my house.
That's right. And who was the elderly man from Louisiana who had a crush on me? I
Neil,
liked him.
That was my roommate from culinary school, Earl Mully.
Tell him I got to see him in Fire Island.
Okay, all right. I will give him the message. He
Neil-
might even be watching this.
listen, Neil,
Okay.
by the way, everyone has a crush on you. Just so you know.
Thank you, darling.
Okay, love you to pieces.
Me too. Take good care.
All right,
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Neil. Thank you.
That was great. Look, we almost
Oh my
forgot
God.
about
I'm
forgot about the viewers.
Was that, is he adorable? Or is he
He was
adorable?
great. He was great.
Oh
He-
my God.
he
Who
is
was that? I
adorable.
love that he said, who was the elderly
I
gentleman?
know. Wait
He's-
till
Neil is 80.
Neil hears that. Yes, exactly. And Earl is 56.
What?
Yes.
That's hysterical.
Yes, Earl's my roommate from culinary
That's
school.
hysterical. Neil
So-
is going to be 80 in February.
Yes, yes.
Neil
And a
Sedaka.
56 or 58-year-old man has a crush on him. Meanwhile,
Everyone
well, I guess
has a crush on
He
Neil.
would be elderly to Neil.
Right. There you go. All right. So Stephen, Herdemian has joined us. Yes, Stephen. Carlos, Stephen is a really sweet guy that goes to the duplex. Shep Pamplin has joined us. Peggy Bauman, hi, sweetheart. Okay, Carlos Hernandez, go ahead.
Jay
sweetie.
Rivera.
Jay Rivera, we love. Abigail Kaufman, hi, Abby. Ann Brown has joined us. Brad Steve Brown. Okay, so we got all these great people joining us. Glenn Charlo has joined. Johnny Tamaro. All right, so yes, everybody, that wasn't a hoax. That was the real Neil Sedaka, the real deal Neil Sedaka.
Real deal, Neil.
Here's our friend. We were talking about that earlier. So, Stephen, you've cooked for him. You've cooked. Tell me, not to show you off, but I want to show you off.
Oh my God.
Because you're very humble. Tell me all the famous people you can remember that you've cooked for.
Okay, well, it goes back to like late 80s, 87, 88, 89. I was working for World Yacht Cruise Lines. And back then, you know, we didn't have like elbow or what do you call it, access to the celebrities. We were just backstage cooking.
Right.
But I cooked for Marvin Hamlish, his wedding. You
That's
know,
amazing.
Liza Minnelli was at that wedding. Barbara Streisand was
Of
at that wedding.
course.
Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley's wedding.
You
I was
did that?
I was an apprentice watching. I went to observe
Wow.
for that company.
And those were on the cruises, or
on the World Yacht Cruises.
Richard Skipper has joined us. Hi, Richard. You just missed Neil. Richard knows Neil as well.
Okay.
Michael Isaacs has joined us. Michael, Neil Sedaka was on. You'll have to rewind and
Oh,
listen.
yeah, you're gonna
He
have
was
to
amazing
listen.
because Michael and I were playing Neil's party. That's how I met Neil, through Michael Isaacs.
Okay, there you
Margaret
go.
Curry. So I'm sorry to interrupt. So,
So then,
you were doing Billy Joel's wedding.
Marvin Hamlish's, Whitney Houston's 25th birthday party with Arista
What?
Records. Yes, 1980. Oh God.
Do you remember what you made for that?
It was a buffet. They picked. It was, yes. We had carved steak, bouquetiere of vegetables, potatoes. It was a real low key buffet. But the party was great.
Yeah.
But who came through the buffet? Mike Tyson, Eddie Murphy, Aretha Franklin.
Whoa.
All these people I'm carving filet mignon for
Wow.
as they're walking through. And Whitney stayed in the front, in the bow. Was that the bow? That was terrible. Bow and starboard of the boat because we were cruising the Hudson.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you were doing all this on a boat.
On a boat, on a yacht.
Amazing.
The yacht seats 300 people.
Okay, well that's
It was
pretty
dinner.
good.
It was
Now,
dinner.
what are the kitchens like in those yachts?
Very small.
I was gonna say, and they're downstairs.
Underneath. Yeah.
Wow,
They
so
were
close quarters,
Very
right?
close quarters, very tight.
Edward Hahn has joined us. Hi, Eddie, Dr. Eddie, I might add.
Okay. I'm
Doc-
looking for any of my.
Yeah, your people. You know what's also happening tonight? That we have a little competition with the State of the Union address.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
He was only supposed to take 15 minutes.
Well, he did maybe take 15 minutes, but now people are popping on. So you can go. The nice thing about this show is, well, let's just let people know again.
Mhm.
So this is what, if in case you just popped on, it's What's the Story with Maria. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It goes from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you want to listen live, you get your TuneIn app and you go to Armed Radio and you can listen live, or go to armeddigitalmedia.com and you can listen live on your computer, or you can Facebook Live with us. My Facebook page is open. And then I save the video and you can watch it anytime you want, as many times as you want. The great thing, and it's my favorite thing, is the podcast. So this podcast, what you just type in What's the Story with Maria, you can go to Spreaker, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. You'll see my picture will come up, and this is episode 78. And also it goes by the date. So that's how you can listen to us. So don't worry if we have a little pesky State of the Union competing with us tonight. You can still listen. So now, Stephen, when you called in the first time you called in,
Right.
because we've talked so many times about great stories. You have so many great stories. You said that your intention was not to be a chef.
Correct.
And I want you to tell that story again, and how this happened in your life.
Okay.
Okay. Because this is one of those, everybody listen, because sometimes you don't know what your calling is, and then something happens, and then you know what your calling is. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
you
Tell that
don't
great
know.
story.
Originally, I wanted to be an architect or an airline pilot, and you know, yeah. You
I mean,
remember
that's
that?
crazy.
Yeah. So I went to my guidance counselor because they were preparing us for college, and I told him, and he said, "Not going to happen."
Why?
Yeah, your math skills. You're
Oh.
a D student in
Oh,
math,
no.
right?
Yeah.
So
Probably better you didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Little did I know I could have went in the military and learned how to fly a plane.
Well, that's true.
But but they didn't tell us all these things back then. You know, when you grow up in a certain neighborhood, they groom you a certain way. You know,
Okay.
your where you live is what determines who you become. But when you're creative, it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really an interesting
So I had
point.
to bust out of that. I had to find a way. But I busted out later than most, But
Well, I think we all feel that. I think we all feel like we busted out later than most.
yeah.
I think
yeah.
everyone you talk to. But listen, I mean, what Neil was saying is he's literally 80, and now he's gone back to school to get his doctorate in
I
music.
know. They should have just given it to him.
I mean, right? I
Yeah.
think he earned it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So go ahead, Joe. How did you become a?
So I was working in a bakery just to save money for a car, and one day a rack of cakes had been knocked over, and everybody was running around crazy. And I had been watching the bakers every day, and so
Eugenia Mesa has joined us. Hi, honey. Just wanted
Hi.
to say hello. So go ahead. So
Oh,
there's
I'm not going into a lot of detail.
no, but I love
told
this. You
that-
can. We have
but-
time, sweetheart.
Okay.
It's your show. You're
So
co-hosting.
there was an elevator that was coming from the ground floor, the basement, to the top floor, second floor, and they forgot to remove the rack of cakes from the door, and it went flying over. So everybody was running
And these
around.
were cakes that people had ordered.
Cakes that were being picked up within an hour or
Oh
two.
my God, I love this story.
So everybody was running around crazy trying to reach the bakers because they were home sleeping because they work in the middle of the night. And I just started picking up the cakes and fixing them. I don't know how I did it, but I started fixing the icing. And the only thing I couldn't do was write with the gel, but the counter girls knew how to do that.
So you
I
reconstructed
put
these
the
cakes.
flowers back on. I started putting the icing on and doing the baker's wheel with the decoration,
Just from watching.
just from watching. I just said, so it's kind of like anybody else with an instrument or
1 second. I wanted to remember where you were. Michael Sawyer has joined us. Joe Gullah has joined us. Norm Lewis has joined us. Hi, Norm. How are you, handsome? Anyway, Norm, maybe sometime, I know you're always doing something, but maybe, who never know, maybe there's a week when you're not on stage and you can come and be on the show, and I'll cook for you, Norm. This is Stephen Daniello. He is a chef to the stars, and he is telling his story about how he became accidentally in quotes, became a chef. So you reconstructed these
So I
cakes.
reconstructed these cakes, and the baker was waiting for me the next day. And I got there after school. I worked from 3 to 7, and he said, "I heard what you did. I like what you did. So I want you to learn how to bake with us in the middle of the night." So now,
Wow.
not only am I a porter, floor cleaner, bathroom cleaner, stock boy, dishwasher, now my Friday and Saturday nights I spend at 3:00 in the morning making donuts, jelly donuts, filling jelly donuts and cream donuts, and learning how to make the rolls from scratch with the press and all that stuff. It was amazing.
Did you instantly love it,
Um,
or were you like, this isn't really from? What did you feel when that happened?
it's. I'm glad you asked that, because back then I knew I needed money. I had to go to work, and it was a job. I never thought about enjoying it or not.
Okay.
It was just part of my day.
You know what? This is a really important point. Kids, listen, and I'll tell you why. So I work with kids. I also manage a bar, so my staff is young, and I work with a lot of young people. When you get older, you automatically, people that you work with are younger. It's just the way it goes. So I'm surrounded by younger people all the time, and I actually love them, and I'm very mothering with them, so it works out. However, I will tell you something. The conversations that we have often are this. They'll say, I don't really like that. I don't really want to do that. I don't really like it. This happens a lot. And my answer is, you don't have to like it. It's not always about liking it. It's just about doing it.
Right.
And how do you gain self-esteem? Doing esteemable acts. Susan Campanero taught me that. You do
Susan
something.
Campanero, Susan Campanero.
She's one of my best friends. Yeah. So it's like, that's how you get better at things, or it's not always about what you love to do or like to do. It's about saying there's a task that needs to be done. I might not be great. Let me just get it done. And at the end of that, you feel like you checked off a list.
Yeah. There's just something about doing it.
Yeah.
My mother told me, if you're not going to excel in sports, or you're not going to do your homework, and you're not going to get good grades, you're getting a job.
Well, good for her.
And that's what I
and
had
how old
to
were
do.
you when she said that?
15.
Yeah.
My first job was just borderline 15, 16.
Do you know what my first job was?
When?
I beat you.
Oh.
9. And you know why? My dad was a hairdresser still. Well, he just retired. And he said, you're coming to on the weekends, get your stuff ready. You're coming to work with me. I was like, I was watching cartoons
9.
at 9. He said, you're going to learn my business. But that's the way it was done then because
you
he
still-
paid me. He paid me. But
Well, you still beat me with the age of work.
only because my dad was my dad's business.
My mother started us making beds, and on rainy days, or
You had to clean, right?
we had to clean. And
Your mother was German?
my mother was Italian and Irish.
Okay.
My father German and Italian.
All right. So you had all of those.
I
Yeah,
had all
you
of
got stuff done.
Oh yeah, she kept us busy. What is that saying? Idle hands is the devil's. I don't know.
Devil's work, right?
Yeah,
Let's check in with what some of our people are saying. So Maria Filiomani has joined. Hi, Maria Filiomani. You'll have to go back and watch the show. It's amazing. We had such a good show. Let me okay.
Leo's getting hungry.
I know Leo's always hungry. He's great.
Should we show him?
Yes, I believe so.
All right.
Talk about Tony. So now, I believe it is time to segue into the part of our show.
I have something. for you.
What? What do you have?
You're gonna wear this with me while
I'll do
we're
whatever
doing.
you want.
I got a chef's hat.
What?
Yep. You're
Oh
gonna
my
have to
God, I've
wear it.
never worn. Does this go in the back?
Yep.
I've
there you
never
go.
worn a chef's
look
hat.
at that.
How do I look, Steven?
You look great.
Yeah? Am I rocking it?
Yeah, there you go. You're rocking.
Wow.
I gotta open these up. These
Oh, I
are,
love this.
I'm letting you wear one of my dress jackets.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, I'm letting you wear one of my dress jackets.
Barbara Cavallo's joined us. Hi, Barbara
Here
Cavallo.
we go.
I hope it fits me. I'm kind of
It
chubby.
will. It will.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
Oh, look at this, Maria.
Steven, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Wow.
Look
Is
at
this your
you.
jacket?
That's my jacket. That's my
I
dress
have a
jacket.
Steven Daniello chef outfit on, but I'd have to put my hair up if we were
Yeah,
really.
you
That's
wouldn't
okay.
Tuck it up into your.
Oh my God, I love this.
Mm.
This look, I love this look.
Yeah,
Okay,
you look
so-
great.
Steve,
Go ahead.
chef, do they call you Chef Daniello or Chef Steven?
In the kitchens, it's respectful to do that. but
Okay, which one? Chef Daniello?
Chef Steven.
Chef Steven? Okay, Chef Steven, shall we show what we've created tonight? Or
Yes,
what you've created.
You
and
can
then
reach it, and we'll talk about it.
Okay, I'm
You
gonna,
can bring them both over.
okay, you hold this one,
Okay.
Chef Steven.
Look at this.
This is so exciting.
Mm.
So
Ham and cheese calzone, baked fresh this afternoon, out of the oven at 3 p.m.
you made the dough as well, did you know?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
And tell us
And
about
this is the cheese calzone.
Oh my God. So that's a ham and cheese.
Ham and cheese.
Now, I might have to cut that one too so we can look at it. So
you want to cut it?
I
now?
think I'm going to because I'm dying to see
I'll
what it
hold the
looks like.
plate.
You hold that. All right.
Look at you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've cut a calzone before. I've never made a calzone though. And no one I know has made one. I think
There
my
we go.
mother used to when I was a kid. Let's
Pick it
turn
up.
that around.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the ham and cheese one. Whoa.
Whoa! Look at that
Oh my
pocket.
God. The dough smells
Hot pocket.
unbelievable. When did you learn to make dough? Is that one of the first things you learned to make?
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
It's
you
like-
use it for garlic nuts, hors d'oeuvres. I take this, cut it up, put it in the fryer, and it's and just to have some dough around all the time is great.
Okay. I've
Yeah.
never made dough, but I'm going to have to learn now
Mhm.
because now you got my.
This
pure
is
milk.
4.5 cups of flour,
4.5
all-purpose flour,
Okay.
dry active yeast. It's a pizza dough.
Okay.
Salt and water.
That's it.
That's it.
And then you use one of those big one of those
Yeah,
big KitchenAids.
Well, yes, you can use a KitchenAid, and then I prefer small amounts. I prefer to do by hand.
Yeah.
Right, on a marble
And
slab.
he made fresh.
Fresh marinara or pizza sauce.
Wow, it smells so good. Oh my God. What did you put in here? I mean, I know it's simple, but
Yeah, it is.
It smells better than most.
It's basically, believe it or not, a lot of the traditional Italian cooking is very simple. It's water, it's tomatoes, it's garlic, it's oil, onions.
That's the best stuff
yeah.
when it's simple.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of extra.
Yeah.
So that is going. We're going to have that. Oh my God! And then
Maria made a salad.
I didn't. I love. I love my salads. That's. I said to Steven, if it wasn't for eating salads, I'd be 4,000 pounds because I eat a lot of food. But so I wanted to go with the traditional Italian, So what I did was, this is a red leaf lettuce, was my mother's favorite. Red leaf lettuce, and then I cut up some grape tomatoes, sweet grape tomatoes.
Mm.
Those are in there. The baby red peppers, I cut those up. Cucumbers, the little small cucumbers, I cut those up, and red onion, a little Bermuda onion. And then, of course, I always have Sicilian olives in the refrigerator.
Yes, I can
And
see
my
that.
favorite. So I put those as a little center there. And I am going to make a salad dressing of fig vinegar.
Ooh.
I know, I got it yesterday, with extra virgin olive oil and a little bit of oregano. I got basil in there too, by the way. I already put basil in here. And I'm going to put oregano, salt, pepper, simple. And that's it. We're going to have that. And then for our dessert,
Wow,
Look
look
at
at that. Fruit
Italian-
tarts and cannolis from where?
from Rocco's Pastry down on Bleecker Street, my favorite pastry. So these are little mini cannolis with do you like them with the chocolate chips or with the pistachios?
I love them no matter what.
No matter what. I prefer the pistachios, but I'm like you. I will eat them no matter
I'm
what.
not fussy.
You can't stop me from eating a cannoli. Don't even try it.
Mm.
And then these little tarts. Now, have you made things like,
Yes,
did you make
yes.
dessert?
Yes, I do. My dessert is limited. I have several. I can make
It doesn't
biscotti,
Yeah.
tiramisu. I love to make it's a chilled cream cheese cheesecake or cheese pie.
That
It's
sounds
great.
delicious.
Very simple. I don't have the patience talking about artists being creative.
Smells so good.
Baking is a science. I've talked about this with my
Yes.
pastry friends. It requires time, patience, and measurement. You can't rush it. The
Right.
dough is going to rise when it's going to rise. So as a chef, I'm about fast. Get
Me
that
too.
food on the
Me
plate.
too.
Yeah, as a bartender,
Yep.
get that drink out.
Yeah, you have to.
So there's a difference between a bartender, a chef, a pastry chef, a painter, all the creative juices that are flowing. We are all similar that we're never satisfied. We keep looking for something more and we keep creating. And back to that 9 to 5 thing, you can't be structured. You just got to keep making things happen.
Right now, the let me just check because we have more people coming
Okay.
on here. Everything you're talking about, I love. Charles Chesler has joined us. So people are saying so many things. Oh, well, thank you. Do you think I'm adorable with this? Barbara Cavallo. Hi, Barbara Cavallo. That is my friend Barbara. She's my friend now, but back in the day, she was my therapist, and she was the best therapist. I'm not just saying this because she's my friend. If you need a good therapist, she's in Brooklyn. Do yourself a favor. Just Facebook me. I will give you her number. She's amazing. But anyway, so what you were talking about, the discipline of even when I cook, I don't even measure anything. I measure if I have to.
Right.
But mostly I know what I'm going to do. Sometimes I'm just like before you leave, you'll have to look at my spice rack. It's 4 tiers and I have all kinds of different things. And sometimes at the last minute, I'll go in a different direction.
Yes, yes.
Gene Simpson Dunn has joined us at the last minute. So do you ever do that, or are you more someone that sits? How do you create your recipes?
Well, everything that's in my, and I'm glad you're asking this, is because I should really document it. I want to start writing a cookbook.
Yes, please do. Actually, I would love. I love your
Everything-
pictures.
Everything is in my head. My crab cake recipe is embedded.
Right,
My ossobuco recipe is embedded. My meatball recipe is embedded.
right.
I do create new things, but I never deviate from my style. You know, like
And what do you mean by that? What's
well,
your
I
style?
have-
What would you say your
I have
style
a very we talked about this old school comfort food.
is? That's what I love too.
So I'll take comfort food, and we talked about taking a meatloaf and doing something, you know,
I love meatloaf.
exactly
Everything you make, I will put on his page. That's my favorite.
Right.
Then he'll make something else. I go, no, that's my favorite. But meatloaf, when I'm stressed, that's what I eat. I will go to a diner and I will get a meatloaf sandwich.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my
Um,
go-to. What do you eat when you're stressed? When
You
you need to
know-
change when you're like, I don't want to talk to anybody right now. Just want it to be me and this food.
You're
What
gonna
is
laugh.
it?
You
No,
are gonna
I'm
laugh.
not going to laugh.
I'm very simple. I keep frozen White Castle hamburgers in the freezer.
This is-
I love peanut butter and jelly, and I found those pockets. Did you ever see those frozen pockets in peanut butter and jelly combined?
No.
They make them for kids, but I keep them in the house. They're white bread that's been cut in, circles,
Yeah.
stamped, and it's peanut butter and jelly inside, all in one.
That's
I keep
it.
them in the freezer. It's just
See,
about
simple things
yeah,
that you like.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, I love White Castle too, by the way.
Mhm.
But meatloaf, that's my thing.
Yeah.
If
Cold meatloaf in the middle of the night.
anything in the middle of the night,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm like a night eater. I'm one of those people.
Me
Do
too.
you do that too? Do you wake up and eat?
Fried chicken dipped in ranch dressing.
God.
Oh,
Do you remember it? Sometimes you don't remember it. Like I'll wake up and the next morning I'm like, what?
the
hell
bones
kind of a
are in my bed. I'm just
Oh, you
kidding.
bring it back to your bed. See,
No,
I don't. I just
no.
stand in front.
I have a paper plate with a table. So
Good
but
for
sometimes
you. You're
I'm
much
just
more
busy
organized.
relaxing.
And when's your birthday, Stephen?
November 15th, Scorpio.
That's very sexy. That's a sexy, sexy sign.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, no, it is. And also, you're very good with money.
I'm very good at spending it.
Oh, yeah, but aren't you good with money?
Oh,
No.
I can't lie because all my friends are watching.
So you
I'm
spend more
learning
than-
now. I'm learning now.
You're getting better
I'm
at it?
learning at it. Yeah. I used to think money was going to always be there.
Yeah, well, that's what happens with money.
When you're young and you're making it, and then all of a sudden, you've got to take care of all these things at once. But I'm learning. I'm getting better. I have a business now. I have 2 businesses.
I know.
So I'm making very good money, but I now have to learn how to manage it. I never learned how to manage. My mother tried, and she tried right up until she passed away, and nobody could. But I'm on my own now.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. Let me check in with people. This is, oh my God, we could talk for hours on end.
Oh God, yeah.
Right? Okay. Roberta MacGyver has joined us. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Lynn Colbert has joined us. Hi, Lynn. So this is Stephen Daniello, and he is a chef to the stars and has 2 companies and does amazing. Tracy Stark. Hi, Tracy Stark. When are you going to come on the show, Tracy? Giovanni LeDuc has joined. Tracy's an incredible musical director. Jeannie Craig. Hi, Jeannie Craig. And Vanna has joined us. Hi, Vanna. So many nice people. Okay, so, and Martin Modana has joined us. Okay, so what you were talking about, which I think we all learn a little later in life, although some people are really good. Like my nieces have always been good with, my youngest niece especially, she was always, even as a little girl, very good with money. Like she would get it for a present and save it.
Right.
And she'd know exactly what she would spend it on and exactly what was left in that jar.
Yeah.
Some people, I remember little kids in my family being really good like that. I think as a young person in my 20s, I was like, as soon as I made it, I spent it.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing, but I always made my own money.
And I didn't come from a rich family.
Me neither.
And that's the interesting thing is you would think like my mother would make my lunch for school every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it
And
was
what
always
would
a
she
good
make
lunch.
you usually?
She would, and she knew how to, every day would be different. Ham and cheese, bologna, peanut butter.
I love bologna.
My mother never wanted to put peanut butter and jelly together. She
Really?
didn't start doing it until much later in life for my dad.
Were you Catholic growing up?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have tuna fish on Fridays?
Yes.
We
yes.
had to. It was a sin if you had anything
Yes,
else.
it was
right?
always. I may be going to sneeze. I don't know.
So
Yeah, tuna fish was. Oh, she had tuna fish on Fridays. Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Thank you. There may be another one.
these things
Yeah.
travel in pairs.
Yeah.
as Woody Allen would say.
Sometimes I keep going through.
Oh, I know.
So yeah, my mother always. I used to share my lunch. There was a boy in our class who didn't have much money, and he was always upset with his lunch. So I was sharing with him.
Oh, that's nice.
He loved my Doritos.
See, share chef even then.
Exactly, share chef. Oh, my mother would pack Doritos, chocolate cupcakes, sandwiches, a thermos full of whatever time.
Did you have those lunch boxes
Yes,
with the thermos?
Batman.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I had the Partridge Family and the Donny Osmond.
yes.
Yeah, those and the Jackson 5.
Jackson 5.
Yeah. Okay, let's check in with some. Oh, okay, no, it's
Scooby Doo.
Kathy Roberti, my cousin Kathy has joined us. Hi, Kathy. Okay, so the Scooby Doo lunchbox.
Scooby Doo.
Now, what was the hardest dish that you ever made? What was something that you're like, I hope I never have to make that again?
Oh, well, I wouldn't say hard. It was a moment of quitting or moving forward. I was working at the Buena Vista Palace in Orlando, Florida for Walt Disney World. And this was a tough place to work. I moved around they had 7 restaurants in the hotel. And on the top floor was Arthur's 27.
Okay.
It was, it was back
Fancy?
then fancy. $75 a head back in 1986 was a lot of money.
Wow. So that's like 200 now.
More. Yeah.
More, right?
So I had made a mistake with the caviar, but the waiters back then were sharp. Even the waiters were educated.
You have to be.
Yes. So the waiter came back and said, "Chef, not me. I was a student at the time. The wrong caviar went out. They ordered the most expensive. They ordered the best." And the chef said to the waiter, "Do they look like they have money, or are they just trying to treat themselves? Do they look like they know what they're doing?" He goes, "They haven't a clue." So, we let
Wow.
it slide. That I sent out the cheap caviar for the expensive price. So then, I'm going to try to keep this short. Do you remember back Nouveau cuisine where everybody carved the vegetables?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I had no problem prepping and carving, but each plate had a different design
Oh my God.
and it wasn't connecting.
Oh
The
my
sensors
God.
weren't firing. So the chef said to me, he called me aside. It was my last day. He said, "If you don't get it tonight, you're done." I was
Wow.
told twice in my life that if you don't get it, you're out.
Oh my God.
And here I
You're
am.
sweating bullets?
Yeah, oh my
So
God.
you got it?
I got it.
Oh my God. So
They
it was
called,
those
I'll
damn
never forget
vegetables.
it. It was called a pave plate. Don't ask me to define it, but it was beef, pork, and veal, little medallions.
Okay.
And it had a design of mashed potatoes that were browned, and then all of the other vegetables went direct.
So that's not just cooking and that's not just creating. That is art. That's designing. That's
it's
art.
everything. Yeah.
So plate designing. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a big deal.
Food
But
fashion, food art.
yes, but I notice, and I want you to talk about your Instagram page because your Instagram page, that's where I see your dishes.
Yes.
And they're beautiful. You're
They're
very
simple.
detailed.
Well, thank you, but they're simple. Like if you go, like you see people building towers
Yeah.
and all the fancy sauces, and I grew up at a different time. So yes, my pictures are my photos of my food are very nice. But I'm not one of those millennial chefs that
Right.
turns it into something bite-sized and flowery.
Right.
know?
Yeah. Well, I love your presentation. And when I make my plates, I want you to know when I plate my food, I think of you
Okay.
every show. I'm like, if Steven's watching, I have to make sure that this looks good. But I also have been a waitress. I mean, I don't work in a restaurant
I
now
put my
so
hat
much.
on.
What?
I didn't put my hat on.
Oh yeah, put
Oh,
your
I
hat on.
forgot my
But
hat.
as a waitress, when you were talking about those waiters, you learned about plating from watching your chefs, and sometimes they would say, "Don't take that yet.
Yeah,
Don't take it yet."
exactly.
They would turn it, and put like 2 dots of something. You'd be like, "That's it." But
exactly.
it's very detailed,
Yeah.
So now, Steven, because we're going to run out of time soon, we'll
Okay.
probably have
Oh,
about
yeah.
2
Wow,
or 3
time
minutes.
flies.
Yeah, I want you to tell people how they can find
I'm having
you.
a hard time here. Go ahead.
We look good, Steven. You
Yeah.
look cute. I want you to tell people where they can find you, how they can find you, and because you're all over the place. So if someone wants to throw an incredible party and they want to find Steven, where do they find you?
You can find me here on Facebook, Steven Daniello, Share Chef Facebook, officialsharechef.com, or when I first started, it was www.
Oh my God, I think Leo has put this on.
Leo, are you there, Leo?
Oh my God, look, officialsharechef.com. He already put it
Beautiful.
on.
He's got an official Share Chef.
Leo Rodriguez.
Leo!
So go ahead. Where else can they find you?
And then there's my Instagram, Share Chef Steven Daniello, but it's share _ chef _ Steven _ I don't know what that means. Daniello.
Hold on a
and then-
second. Jimmy, how much time do we have? So, well, he'll probably come back. in like
Okay,
2 minutes.
my email address is
Jimmy, how we doing for time?
Oh.
Okay, he might be
Nobody's
in
there.
now. It's all right.
and my email is Steven STEPHEN G as in Glenn Daniello DANIELLO @yahoo.com. And that's another thing. People laugh at my Yahoo.com. You're not.
Why? I have AOL still.
I know. I know.
Listen, you think I'm going to get rid of 2,400 emails?
Exactly.
I have
exactly.
over 2,400
Yeah.
emails in that.
Just
No, no.
because, yeah.
I also have a Gmail account, but
Yeah, I do. But I've got like 5 of them.
I
that are
know.
floating out there in cyberspace.
And I think what I'm going to do this year is I'm actually going to create a What's the Story with Maria YouTube page.
Okay, good.
So that is my goal for 2019. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to post, Chris Tapiro's been talking to me about this, post all my videos one at a time. Now this is episode 78, and that'll be on YouTube. You'll be able to find me. That's my goal for 2019. And also merchandise. I'm going to get What's the Story with Maria. I'm thinking about getting oven mitts. What do you think of that? And on the other side, it would say, go ahead, keep eating.
Good. I like it.
You like it, Chef Steven?
I do like it. Oven mitts are great.
Okay, so what is your favorite high-end dish to eat? Now, we
Oof.
know what your comfort food is. If something you're going to spend money, you're like, I deserve it. I did a great thing. I am going to go and spend money on what? Jimmy, how much time we got? A minute.
1 minute.
Tell us what.
You know, I guess the best way to answer that is I've eaten so many great foods, high end. I love going to a restaurant and finding something that I've never had
Mm-hmm.
and just spending the money on it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
I
worth
mean,
it.
I mean, I could sit here and try to say veal, lobster,
Right.
caviar.
Something you've never tried.
But exactly. Just, pick it out on the menu and say, I've never had this. I want it.
Okay. All right. So that is Steven's advice. We have had a wonderful time. Please go back. I'm going to save this video. Go back and watch it because in the early end, Neil Sedaka, the actual real deal, Neil Sedaka called in. He's our mutual friend. And Steven, you have been a joy to co-host with. Thank you for letting me wear your beautiful uniform. And we love you. Please come back next week. We're
I
here
will.
every week, 9 p.m. You'll come back. You'll be popping
I'll
in.
be back.
9 p.m. Eastern on What's the Story with Maria. We love you and appreciate you very much. Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.